Welcome back to the Titanium Hangar. This is Mike, and today I want to talk to you about my 22,000 subscriber special. I want to say thanks to everybody out there that subscribed and leaves messages down below and really shares lots of knowledge with me and shares the fun on this journey. This video is 3 videos in one. It is the 22,000 subscriber special. It is the welcome video. So if you've not been to this channel before, I'll talk about that for a little bit. And then number 3, it's Friday. Happy Friday, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. And there's a lot of Transformer stuff in here. So every Friday I make a Transformers video, usually Masterpiece Transformers. I talk about this kind of stuff. And it is a lot of fun. It's one of the things I collect. I would say it's the #1 thing I collect. But I collect over 100 toy lines total now at this point. So I've been a lot of vintage, a lot of modern, a little of everything. And with that, I have a Retro Wednesday video. So that's probably my second, third largest video of the week. And then I cover usually a whole toy line from the 80s and 90s, or maybe even one figure at a time. And then Sunday is my news segment. Now, my news segment is probably what most people like to come to the channel for, and it's kind of fun. I hope I don't lose too many subs. I'm going to lose some subs because I have some funny jokes on my Sunday news, and especially this upcoming one. But anyway, let's get into taking a look at these collections. Now, since I hit 2,000 subscribers, I've done subscriber specials, showcasing the collections of viewers. It's giving back to the viewers, but it's also very, very selfish because I love seeing these and I want to see your collections. And I will have a link down below where you can submit yours for the 23,000 subscriber special. Of course, so many great people come along on this journey. We'll be at 23 sooner than later. And if you miss this round of pictures, you can be in the next one. So anyhow, let's get into looking at these great videos. And again, welcome to the channel. Happy Friday, and thanks so much for 22,000 subscribers. Coming up. All right, starting out with Chris and Chris's collection. And he wanted me to know that Galactus thinks my channel's #1 and I'm #1, so I appreciate that, Galactus. Some of these pictures, the lighting, it's a little bit kind of washed with the lighting. And I do want to point this out. There's not any negativity in here. These people are showing amazing collections. And with that, I just want to say that sometimes there's a little bit of glare, a little bit of other things. And I do try to trim out pictures if it's kind of to make it look a little better. I want to present everyone's collection in the most positive aspect, which this looks fantastic. I am impressed with the Galactus, the Sentinel. I know there's going to be other big versions of them coming out down the road, but those original ones are the HasLab ones are the ones that are most sought after and are the most impressive. Also, we've got some stuff going on here with G.I. Joe Classified on this shelf, making use of all the space that can be made use of. And then we've got this right here. So there's another angle right here that we're looking at, and with that, we've got some Transformers from multiple different eras. The big one's on the top, and I believe it's, okay, Titans at the top with some Masterpiece, and then going down lower, we've got more Masterpiece in there, sharing some room with some G.I. Joe. And here's what we're going to see throughout all collections is people making the best use of their space, utilizing space at the best they can, and that is something that is definitely impressive. Plus, I like the lighting. Lighting is really key and important for a collection. When you see my collection, you're going to say, Mike, you don't light but a few shelves, but you'll know what my favorite shelves are because they're lit. And these shelves are lit. This is impressive. Now, this is, you're going to see three of these, 3 collections that have the Lewin Resources, W Resources Metroplex. And I was very curious how they're going to display them. And this works here. This works to put the Lewin Resources Metroplex in there. In the middle of it all, build your display around it and put a whole bunch of figures on it and work it around. I don't usually give too many suggestions, but I would suggest you could put a piece of wood across the top. Just be pretty simple. You can paint it black across the top, and you can have more space right above him. That would still look amazing and give you a little more display space. And that's exactly what I did in my my office, and I've got that going on. But it's just a suggestion. But this still looks amazing. I do like how each one of the little cubby holes or the shelves are lit. I do like the Autobot and Decepticon symbols that are in there. Very nice. Very, very nice. And I've been watching Chris's collection grow and evolve, and it is looking really good. And here's another shot of it from another angle, and which I think is really important to get different angles of this stuff. And yes, it looks good. At the top, you do have some of the bigger items that will not fit inside the shelves, and then, of course, smaller ones in front of it. A lot of Masterpiece going on here. See the Dr. Egg in there. It's funny how it's just shifted about 20 degrees in this picture, and you can see so much more going on with it, like all the stuff that's going on with the Minosaur and the Stunticons in there. Then here's another shot of it just on its own, standing outside of the display, which that Lewin Resources, man, that is so impressive. I was actually a little scared because I made a challenge to everybody that if it was still left in a month, then I would buy one, and I didn't know exactly where I'd display it. I had an idea, but not exactly. And then they sold out so fast, like lightning fast sell out. Here's just showing some more of his, I guess, kind of art. And that's kind of fun too. Sort of an art picture, and it looks good having the good old Jetfire, Skyfire. Chris, thanks for sending your pictures. Looks great. You're evolving with your collection, and it looks amazing. Getting into Gibbs' collection. Now, Gibbs' collection it's huge, and it's beyond Transformers. And it's kind of like, he's after my own heart here because he's going into a lot of these properties that I'm really enjoying. This is one of the pictures, a few different pictures of this Cat Slayer, but Cat Slayer looks great. And then having the TV in there, and when you do your pictures and your art, to have something displayed on the TV that is associated with it is kind of fun. We're going to be jumping around into some different things going on with this collection, though, and I believe this is the... Talk about these every week, it seems like a fans project, I believe. And these, I don't have any of them, but they all look amazing. And I still talk about this stuff like it's just getting released, and he's got it all in his collection. Duplicate, which is amazing and awesome. Some amazing stuff he's got going on right here, looking at this. And I might have to pick up some of this Fans Project stuff. And I believe it's Fans Project. Fans Hobby. Fans Hobby. I keep saying it wrong. We got some good stuff going on here with Marvel Legends. And I want to point out we got the street scenes. That's fun stuff right there. The street scenes and all the figures going on with it. And I know I see a Storm. I see a Rogue. I see Magneto. I don't know all the names of all these because I'm not a super duper ultra like X-Men X-Men is my favorite part of Marvel, by the way. X-Men is. But I know most of these, they look good. I really think that the way this is set up, the display, and, you know, what do you do with these ginormous figures? So to have this giant street scene displaying all these figures, and then they're attacking the Sentinel is pretty cool. Now here's another angle, another picture of the Cat Slayer, and that thing looks amazing. Super 7 did a fantastic job with it. I mean, I know there's always minor QC issues that everyone complains about, and we're going to see some Super 7 pictures in here that are so phenomenal that I just can't believe anyone would hate on Super 7 after seeing those. This picture here is a little bit on the next level side of things because not only does he display the Eternia, and way better than how I display mine, and he's got Castle Grayskull on the left, and on the right we've got the Snake Mountain. But underneath each corresponding color, green, blue, and purple. Color of light. That is next level impressive. I'm wondering what else is going to go down there. I'm imagining like the vehicles are going to go down there. It's what I'm expecting to see with this. Looking amazing. We're going to see different angles of this as we go. And here's the other angle of this. So this room, this isn't even the giant hallway of an amazing Transformer display. And this is another thing that I like. As people keep sending in pictures and progressively showing their collections growing and changing, seeing different stuff and not exactly the same thing over and over is so much more enjoyable. But also I do like seeing that, hey, you've done some stuff different. So I like seeing pictures. I will never get upset about anyone sending me any pictures whatsoever at all. I love looking at it. But just look at the ideas you can get from this, that you can gain from this. So much fun. And then the lighting, like he's next level with lighting. I don't know. Does he have 1,000 lights in this thing? It's insane. Here's another closer up of another one of the street level scenes going on. I believe it was NECA street scene that this is, and it looks fantastic. Of course, the streets at night. I wonder if you flip, if you flip that cardboard around, is a street during the day. I had one of these pre-ordered. I decided not to get it because I didn't have space for it, but he definitely does, and it looks fantastic. I really love the NECA stuff. Now here's another angle of that whole setup and display and how things look, and I think we see a couple more of these pictures on the inside. Just looking fantastic. Another thing you're going to notice, and this, I love this. I wish I was this good. To where at the bottom left there's some biker mice, and he's already anticipating the stuff that's going to get released for biker mice from the cell, and has a place for it. So you don't have to shuffle things around and move things around. You're not in the situation I am where I'm like playing Tetris to fit new stuff in, and that's awesome. Here are his biker mice that he has put in there, and as some of these things come in, he does show me, like this all came in, which is so much fun. It's exciting. Kind of like, here's my unboxing, and they look great. They look great. I did just, I think 3 days ago, open mine, and it's awesome. Those are awesome. They're not, there's pluses and minuses to everything, but for the price point, they're awesome. Here's his Lewin resources, and he just kind of put them in the corner. He's I mean, you got to do what you got to do. And that's another way to display it. Let's put them in the corner, but you know what? It would look awkward if you just had these combiners and your Omega Supreme in the corner, but having the Lewin Resources Metroplex with them, it feels right. I think so. This is the picture that when I saw this, I said, how could anybody that bashes Super 7 bash Super 7? How could you see something like this was created by a company? Yeah, they made mistakes. They're not perfect. Brian's not a perfect person. Whatever. I'm not perfect. But this looks amazing. And I guarantee you, if someone else got it, it would be gritty looking. They would put all the washes on them and make them look more modern and less cartoony. And this is exactly what I want in my mind's eye. But I also love how he displays it. Looks fantastic. Also, squeezing in, like, where are you going to put your one Brave Star? Not a bad idea to throw him in with this, because he looks like he fits. A couple of the pictures, and this is, again, we're building this space. I have this space allocated. He has it allocated for these. Where are mine? Mine are in my review space on a sort of a table and waiting to get built. And so with this, he's like, well, they're waiting to get built, but this is also what they'll be displayed. And that future planning is very important when you're planning your displays. Now we're getting into, this is the Mattel Masterverse. He's got Origins too, but his Masterverse Horde stuff coming up. Another thing, with the lighting, with the colors popping on the figures, the display, the having all the different elevations of it, and you've got the risers in there with the clear acrylic risers. Clear acrylic risers in this. Looks fantastic. Different scales between both Origins and Masterverse for the Horde Troopers. Just amazing looking overall. So much fun. So much fun. Thanks again for the amazing pictures. Your collection's amazing. It continues to grow, and I love watching it grow. And I love seeing how you display it. All right, next we're getting into Jonathan's collection. Now, Jonathan did submit his pictures in the last one, and I asked him for more pictures so I can see the whole thing. And how is the whole thing set up and looking, and I like it. And this is one of those things that there are so many different options. So he decided to go with floating shelves. Some people bash floating shelves, but I don't. I actually think that this looks really nice in this space. You've got some empty space. You've got some lights that are shining down upon everything that's going on here. Very, very nice. Very well done. And I like all of these figures. And I think everything in here is Masterpiece. And with that, we're going to see a little bit more. Here are the floating shelves, and looking nice. The figures are all posed. There's way more space between them than there are on my Masterpiece shelves, so I definitely appreciate that. Also want to point out the way he sets them up with the tallest in the middle splaying downward to the smaller ones, and then that works. I mean, you would see this kind of in a lineup in the cartoon itself. That would be somewhat how they would line up, and that looks great. Pulling over into here, we got some combiners in there looking good and working out. And so this shows you, if you wanted to have the MMC Defensor along with, say, Fans Toys version of Superion, and that's the size difference, the scale difference, and that's how they would display together. And at the end of the day, like as ultra critical as I get about the size and scale, when I look at someone's collection and I see this, I still think it looks good. I mean, I think it looks fine. Plus, putting the goofy eyes on your sludge, so much fun. I do love this. Now, he's got each one of his little segments of other figures on the lower shelves has a nice print behind it. Now, that's where I am. I like a print behind it. I know some people actually build it out and they paint every little detail and it takes 2 or 3 days, maybe a week to make a display. Those look amazing too. I'm not going to say anything against that. But something as simple as put a print in to enhance it, that's where I'm at. I mean, I don't think I'm to the point where I can build a whole display myself, but I think that I'm at the point that I can put a print in behind it like this, and it enhances it dramatically. And just simply just get these prints made, or you can buy them pre-made and those kinds of things and add them in, and just this does it. It really does it. It adds a whole air to it. The other thing I like about the way, like just putting some prints in like this, is if you decide that I'm going to redo it, you can just pull the print out, move it to a different shelf, and redo it a different way, and that would work also. So, I mean, there's advantages to this, but I love the way it looks. Here's another one that's the same kind of thing. It's a different print behind some different figures that look fantastic, all posed very well. I like how it's done, and it feels really good. Plus, he's got the lighting in there. Here's another angle of the upper area, and I just love it. I love how it's done, and it looks really good, and it's just a small corner of joy and happiness in there that Jonathan has shown. And here's one more shelf, and you know, it's one of those things that you see it works, it fits. This is kind of some season 2 and 3 kind of stuff going on in there, mixed with some of the original cast there. Here is some Dinobots. Better look at the dinos, and he chooses to put them in dino mode, and that's the quintessential question with how do you display Dinobots. Is it in bot mode or dino mode? And I think it's either 50-50, or I'm starting to see more people leaning towards dino mode for Dinobots. But anyway, thank you, Jonathan. Your collection is fantastic. It is moving along. That's a beautiful corner of heaven over there. Now we're getting into Michael's collection. I've kind of got it mixed in here with some pictures of shelves along with pictures of the whole thing. We're about to see the pictures of the whole thing. This is some G1. I love me some G1. G1 love all the way. Got a lot of the accessories mixed in with these figures. And I really do think that G1 does display best when you've got the accessories on them than just bare bones, like kind of how I have most of mine. My 2025, I was planning on trying to fix that. Here goes a picture of I think this is pretty much the entire, is it the Masterpiece collection that he's got going on here? And it looks fantastic. Everything is spaced out. It's elevated. You have levels to it. And it looks nice. It looks really nice. This will probably make the cover, if you know what I mean. And you'll probably know what I mean. Here's another G1 picture. That looks fantastic there. They're all just kind of lined up. They all look good. You can see everything that's going on there. Some of these figures, I'm just going to say, some of the, I don't even know what you call them. I forgot what you call them. Duocons, I think is what they call them. In the front, they're just not great figures, but they displayed well in his display the way he did it. I have mine in the alt mode. I think I probably should do it more like that. Here's another full-on shot that shows a lot of stuff. We got Beast Wars in there at the bottom. You see the G1 stuff moving on up to the Beast Wars. And we're going to see some more close-ups on some of this stuff. But very clean, well lit, spaced out. Everything looks like it's there with a purpose. And so much fun. I mean, this has got to be fun to look at and enjoy every single day. And the Autobot and Decepticon symbols are a really nice touch on those glass cabinets that are they DTOFs? I'm not an expert on DTOFs and glass cabinets. I kind of wish I would have used some glass cabinets. Less dust. Anyway, this is just an angle. I like these kinds of shots because you can see, okay, this is a room over where, like to the side of the house. There's a living area. Let's go over here to my collection area. Where do you display? I mean, everybody's situation is different. Everyone's house is a little bit different, and setup is a little bit different. Plus, Sunbow chart so that you can tell Mike that he's wrong with his scaling. Here's the Sunbow chart right here. I can't. Just joking. Michael's got a great collection here. And a great name. This is more G1 stuff, and again, most of them have their weapons. They look, all of them pretty much look complete. I'm not really analyzing all that, but what stands out to me is the weapons on them make them look so much better than the way I display mine, and I plan to fix that in 2025. I think I'm going to push that to 2026. Still, this looks great, and I'm not going to lie, some of this stuff does inspire me. It inspires me like, oh, I need to fix that in my collection. They did this. It looks so good displayed like this. This Unicron, okay, when you start talking about scale, and you got people saying, never going to get a true masterpiece scale Unicron. It needs to be the size of the Empire State Building next to my MP44 Optimus Prime. That's just not reality, right? So when you take even the Zero One Studio Cell, which is the best looking version of this in bot mode, and you put it next to smaller figures, whether it's Legends or even some of the other smaller figures that are smaller than that, like Dr. Wu and all that, it pops and it works. And this is mixing scales or mixed media in a way to make it work. Here is some more. For a second, I was stumped. Masterpiece. The Legends has gotten so good that I gotta like key in on just a couple of characters and go, okay, X-Transbots, Fans Toys, okay, gotcha, got it. Looks good though, looks really good, fantastic over here, and it's really nice. Oh, also, they never did a punch counter punch in Legends yet, which starts to, that's a whole other conversation, but will we ever get that in Legends? Fantastic looking display with all of this lit up and elevations. Some Beast Wars, not a ton of Beast Wars, but what you want there. And he made his decision to display them in Beast mode, same as the Dinobots decision, and there you go. Here we go with more of the Masterpiece stuff going on. All of them posed very well. All of them look like they have a purpose. They're on a mission to look good on the shelf, right? You know what I mean? Some people would say something about empty space in there, but I think that it makes it look a little bit more elegant, and like your eye wants to kind of go to where the collection ends, and what do you end up with? Prime. So that's good. Like for me personally, I probably would have put Prime in the middle of all this, but now that I look at it, I think Prime at the top makes a lot of sense. It really does. Same thing with the Megatron. And you know, and that's the other thing. You look at all these different collections, and I almost want to make another video about this too. There's his Megatron, and it's his favorite version of Megatron that was out there, and I think that is the Mach 8 Toys one, I believe. And yeah, because it's the one I don't have yet. And that's his Megatron. It looks fantastic in this collection. Like, I wouldn't swap it out. It looks great. So you have all these figures looking amazing on the shelf, and we're going to see more and more and more of this as time goes on. Why would anyone want to swap out when these things look good? I think that we have seekers from different companies in here at the same time, which is another thing that I think is fine. And I think it actually makes a display look a little bit more interesting. Getting into more of these, I like how we don't have all of them just in one mode. We got some beast modes in here with some of these, and that really works. And again, all pose really well. Different versions of Insecticons. So you have different companies making Insecticons. You have two from two different companies, maybe even three. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, there's got to be. Is it 3 different companies? You got Fans Toys, the KFC, and maybe MMC. I'm not sure. Maybe they doubled up on some, but still fun stuff going on right here. This gets into the other question. I think that Galvatron 1.0 looks spot on perfect in this collection. I don't see any reason to spend all the money to upgrade when it already looks this amazing. Fantastic looking shelf. Looking at this here too, I'm not big into the movie stuff, but I just thought this was a cool looking picture. And there's a few other ones that are going on in his collection with some of the movie stuff. But I don't know. I think I had only picked a few of the movie ones for this. Dinobots. So he actually picked bot mode for Dinobots, which is fantastic. I believe all this is Fans Toys, and they look great. Overall, I really kind of regret getting rid of my Fans Toys swoop. Almost thought about buying another one back, but then that would have put me down the path trying to get them all. And I can just do this. I can enjoy other people's fans' toys, Dinobots. I got the Gigapower. I got behind the Gigapower and the shininess, but these are more cartoon accurate than Gigapower, and that's where that is. Getting into some more of the Beast Wars, and so this is the Transmetal 2, which, by the way, when it comes to Beast Wars, Transmetal is what I like the most, and I really just kind of associate with that. So this picture means a lot to me too, because it does look good though, how he did it. Now, when it comes to the cassettes, this is another thing that it is really hard to not love the presentation of the Fans Toys cassettes. You see that in here with his collection, and having them, it's a choice. A lot of people have Soundwave, Blaster in their respective bot modes, and all of these are in their alt modes, which is fascinating that he displays it like that. I like it. I mean, it's so different. I haven't seen anyone display it quite like this before, with your Perceptor and your Reflector, and I'm stumped. I'm not exactly sure which Reflector. I'm guessing KFC. Might be wrong. Looking at the Fans Toys. Okay, this is fun too. So I think he used the kit. No, I don't even think he did. I'm not sure for the combined. Maybe he had 2 sets. But the Fans Toys Aerobots, I absolutely love them. I love them. And these look good. You see all of them. You see the vast majority of the ones in the back too, because they're elevated, and it really works. They're all posed. And the thing is, they're not all posed in the same direction. See, the top 2 are facing a different direction, which adds a little bit more depth and dimension to the picture. It looks fantastic. This here, we've got some more of the sort of Transmetal Beast Wars again, what I like the most. Transmetal, I feel like that Cheetor was Transmetals 3, but I think it's really considered Transmetals 2. Transmetals 2 Cheetor. Is it Xing Zhang is the Megatron? That thing is amazing, but good looking picture. Thank you so much, Michael. Your collection looks fantastic. Very, very clean. Very well spaced out. Well done. Next we're getting into Sam's collection, and with that he's got a lot of gold. I love gold! But this is more of just sending some shots in than his entire collection, which he's already done his collection. And if I'm remembering it right, he like literally built shelves from the ground up for his entire collection. I think I'm remembering it right like that. Here is the G2. Now I think this is kind of showing sort of an homage to the Fans Toys, and this one here I believe is, I know it is, the one that just came out from Hasbro, which kind of shows that, you know, it's, if you don't want to spend $800 on the Fans Toys, $55 right now, currently, just for now, while they're at retail, for this G2 Grimlock is a good deal. But I don't think it'll be $55 once it sells out. Here is the G2 Megatron, which I kind of missed this. I believe this is a Hasbro release. I sure did miss it. I never picked this one up, but it looks good. Showing Masterpiece versus Legends, and that's the Fans Toys on the Trailbreaker, and down below is the New Age. And in case I wasn't 100% sure, he included the box for me. Thank you. Appreciate that. This is Sam's, I believe this is Sam's son. I think he's into some of this Dragon Ball Z stuff. Kind of fun. Always fun to have fun with the next generation. Sadly, I'm sad. My kids are no longer interested in this stuff. And it's kind of sad. So enjoy every moment that you can. Trust me. More gold! I love the gold! And there it is. It looks nice with these figures in here. Now, these are... can't got my tongue. Can't tell you exactly where they're from. But they look good. And then here they are again with a Prime in gold. And looks pretty good. For some reason I'm thinking this gold one on the right here is either Alpha Trion or... yeah, I'm wrong. Now, this is fun too, showing Fans Toys as it's going. Sam is definitely one of those that does the more than one of each figure. So he's going to, if he's all in on Fans Toys, he's all in on 2 sets of Fans Toys. Maybe even 3. I might be wrong. He might be the triplicate sets of Fans Toys. I believe he's the one that has all 7 of Hydra. because of the extra mode, which blows my mind to this day, that picture. But looking good, and it'll be fun when that thing's built. Hope it's not disappointing at all, because I'm impressed with that so far. And here we go with what appears to be those. I think these are the transforming turtles that came out, along with some of the Hasbro stuff that's going on. But looking good. There's some Voltron stuff in this picture, and so I would call this kind of an oddity shelf, but still wants to display it. And then we get into, okay, we're getting into the next of the Lewin resources, W resources. And he did want to put in his Facebook, and I was questionable at first, like did he want to show that to everybody? But he has all these pictures on his Facebook. If you want to go check it out, and it looks really good. And that's how much bigger than that ginormous Galactus that the Lewin Resources Metroplex is. Now this is one of the, so this is a 3D print figure, and with that, it's gonna look better than one that has to transform. This is not transformable either. It's just a figure, I believe. It's my belief. Showing you how much bigger it is than an actual Fans Toys, and his background that's been, what's a giant background, to tell you the truth. Alright, now we're getting into some small stuff. It goes from ginormous Lewin Resources to really, really tiny. I don't know if this is Dr. Wu stuff in here. I'm not sure. It is really small stuff, and then even the tinier stuff to go with it, which is fantastic. Now, some of this stuff I never picked up, and I really kind of think it would have been fun to pick this up, but he's got it. He's got it all, and that's impressive. And then those really, really tiny little figures are the ones that kind of were, I say, most of these were pack-ins. There's a story about each one of those tiny little figures, but I believe like the Galvatron might have been a pack-in in one of the figures. Sam, that's an amazing collection. It's next level with the photography and all the things that you do there. But thanks again for showing me all of these and sharing with everybody else and giving people some ideas. Life has been really, really busy for me lately. Life's felt like a country song. My fridge broke down, my truck broke down, my washer broke down, my dog, it's all that fun stuff. But in the next week, I'm pretty sure I'm going to play the country song backwards and go get me a new fridge, go get me a new washer, go fix truck. I don't know, it's quite funny, but I've heard that a long time ago, and this week, I actually feel that proverb coming to life. Anyway, thanks again to everybody that's been on this journey with me. It's so much fun. I have so much fun with collecting, and there's so many more things I'm going to do. I have at least 10 more full collection videos for Retro Wednesday to do, and I don't know, 1,000 more Transformer videos to make in my lifetime, so who knows, maybe 2,000. But a lot of fun here, and really no toy lines off limits, and I do want to see your collection pictures, so let me know. And again, thanks to everyone that submitted these pictures, and also thanks to everybody for coming along this ride. Teddy Ringer out.